change is inevitable. If you're not changing, then you're not doing, right? And you need to make sure that your organization is sustainable, and the only way to do that is through change, okay? The only way to make sure that your business is sustainable is through change. The world is evolving, and if we don't evolve with it, we're screwed. That's the nature of the beast, okay? So we want to make sure that any change that we make, that we initiate that change early. That means right now you should be thinking about the change you're going to make a year from now. Anytime that you set out to do something, you need a vision for that, all right? Make sure that when you're talking about change to anybody on your team, that you are talking about the vision for that change. Not just, oh, we're going to change how we do things around here, or, oh, we have this new software. What? No. What is the vision for that? Okay? So the vision for that new software is to make sure that we increase our productivity, or that we get more organized as a company so that we can eliminate the miscommunication that we're having. Okay? So always talk about what's going to happen as a result of the change, and that will help people to be more on board with it. You all are influencers in your company, whether you like it or not. You're here. Okay? So if you're the business owner, if you're not, it doesn't matter. You still have influence over the thought process of everybody else in your company, okay? And so as we talk through this today, don't just think, oh, I'm not the leader, so it doesn't apply to me. No, all of you are influencers in your company. Create curiosity. If you're able to create curiosity in this sweet spot of knowledge to persuasion, then you're going to hook them, okay? And a really good way to create curiosity with people is simply to give them just like nuggets and nibbles of information and then have them explore more. Okay, so, hey, I heard of this thing called JobTread. We're kind of looking into it. I'd be curious what your thoughts are. Done. Step back. Let's say you already got JobTread. That's okay. We're looking into this. We're considering it. I don't know. What are your thoughts? Can you look into it for me? What would that do for your people? It generates curiosity, 100%. Curiosity, maybe some concern, right? What's that? They would feel valued. You're bringing them in early. And you ask, ownership. Yeah, they feel like they're a part of the decision, 100%. And how long did that take you to ask that one silly question? Like 3 seconds. You know, and you can say it in the break room. Hey, we're thinking about this, we're considering it, you know, we're doing a trial of it, however you want to say it. But I'd be curious to know your thoughts. Circle back with them a couple of days later, and I tell you, they're going to give you their thoughts. And in most cases, they're going to say some good things, and that's what you know to cling to. I remember my mentor told me once, change is a grieving process, and we need to make sure that we're treating it as such. What are your thoughts when I say that? Yep. It is, right? Change is grief. Regardless how small or how big it is grief. And so what happens is we often are like, oh, it changes, it's gonna be so exciting. We have JobTread, we're so thrilled to use it. You know, we can't wait, and you have to do this, and you have to do that. And then when you do that, this happens. Like, holy cow, we're skipping over the entire grieving process. What would happen if somebody responded to you that way when you were going through grief? That's the last thing you would ever want, right? And so remember that when you do change, people feel loss. They are either losing what they've had before, they are feeling threatened, they're feeling maybe less valued. There's so many fears that we'll walk through, but ultimately, we have to make sure that we're navigating emotions throughout the whole process. Anxiety, happiness, fear, threat, guilt, depression, hostility, gradual acceptance, delusionment, moving forward. I mean, goodness gracious. And to know that we're presented with change every day, and we're going through this every day, I mean to different levels, of course, but we are now putting more and more and more emotions onto our team. What are your concerns? What are your hesitations? Tell me, I want to hear them. And your response isn't, but JobTread will do this though, or but it's going to help you with that, so don't worry about that, or or actually the vision is, I didn't respond in any way like that. I validated those concerns, right? Yes, you're right. JobTread doesn't have that feature quite yet. Maybe that's a great request that we can make. This seems like an agile company. Or yes, you're right. There are more details that we do have to add to the system. I'm really curious to know what details are bogging you down. Not responding with a rebuttal is going to help them to feel like they're heard, but also it's going to give them a freedom. Like, goodness, now they feel like they're a part of the solution. Like, you've heard me. How can we work together to get through that? Okay? So it's so important to give them this opportunity to just let it out. I solved all their problems. But first, I had to hear them. Like, I had to hear their concerns. I had to listen to them. I had to give them the space and the capacity in their minds and in their hearts to actually hear a solution. If you don't listen to them, they're not going to have the capacity and the space to listen to you. So give them the microphone first, shut your trap, listen, and affirm their feelings. Everybody has real feelings. And then they'll have the capacity to listen to you. Anytime that you push someone, they're going to push back. And then you're not moving forward, right? So I can keep pushing him, and he was pushing this way. He wasn't pushing that way. We weren't moving forward at all, right? But he's not gonna ever let me push him over. Of course, you wouldn't want to do that either. So unless you're willing to take the time to bring someone alongside you to move forward together, then change doesn't happen effectively. Or if you sit and push someone and push change on them, it's just not, it's not gonna work. There's gonna be fighting, and then you're not gonna be able to move forward together. You have to be willing to put both feet into this puddle with your team, or they're gonna stay 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And that creates skepticism, okay? You don't want that. And they're gonna wonder why you're not in with 2 feet. How are you going to get people on board if you're not in?